Welcome to the blackawakening.com. I'm your host, spiritual practitioner 322 Pepe Black Son. Today we're going to discuss the Breonna Taylor case. It was two officers that were being indicted for her death. And we're going to find out exactly what happened with those charges. Let's examine this.
Update in the case of Breonna Taylor, the 26-year-old Louisville woman killed in her own home in a police raid, which was set off protests nationwide. Last week, a federal judge threw out felony charges against two former officers who were accused of falsifying the warrant that sent police to Taylor's door.
Breonna Taylor's death sparked an outcry for racial justice across the country after police shot and killed her in 2020. Taylor was caught in the crossfire when Louisville police raided her apartment using an allegedly false drug warrant. Her boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, fired one shot that hit an officer in the leg. Police returned fire 32 rounds, 8 of which hit Taylor. Walker, a licensed gun owner, said he believed an intruder was breaking in. Following the shooting, the Department of Justice filed charges against 4 officers. But late last week, a federal judge in Kentucky dismissed felony charges against 2 of them. Former Louisville police detective Joshua Janes and former Sergeant Kyle Meany. The judge ruled that it was not a bad warrant, but it was Walker's actions that legally caused Taylor's death because he fired the first shot. Janes and Meany were not at the raid, but prosecutors accused them of knowingly falsifying part of the warrant and putting Taylor in danger by sending armed officers to her apartment. In a statement to CBS News, an attorney for Breonna Taylor's family said, quote, "We are devastated at the moment by the judge's ruling and are just trying to process everything."
Louisville Detective Joshua Janes and Sergeant Kyle Meany, they were federally charged in 2022 for submitting a false affidavit to search Taylor's home ahead of Louisville Metropolitan Police Department's raid, then working together to create a false cover story in an attempt to escape responsibility for their roles in preparing the warrant affidavit that contained false information. This was according to the court's documents. The charges carry a maximum sentence of life. U.S. District Court Judge Charles Simpson ruled Thursday that the decision by Taylor's boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, to fire his gun when officers burst into their home was the legal cause of Taylor's death, rather than the warrantless entry, according to the court's documents. After Walker fired his shot, thinking that the officers were intruders, a volley of gunfire came from the police, and Taylor was shot multiple times. And still, family, these egregious failures of the court system continues as it was intended to be, since the Christian doctrine of discovery, which is the whole construct of international laws, which is to legalize the victimization of indigenous black people and the confiscation of our lands. Understand this. Understand, indigenous black people, this is not going to change until we make the change. We're going to have to do some self-reflections and corrections and understand this Luciferian caste system that you're being subjugated to. You'll never get justice from unjust people. Understand that. Just like they got 3 levels in the court system. The district courts, the circuit courts, and the Supreme Court. They got common law, admiralty law, maritime law, canon law, and our universal law. As we refer to canon law, Leviticus 24, verse 19, and it reads, "Anyone who inflicts a permanent injury on his or her neighbor shall receive the same in return. A fracture for a fracture, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth." Then we go to our universal laws. And in law and ethics, universal laws or universal principles refer to the concepts of legal legitimacy of actions, whereby these principles and these rules for governing human being conduct, which are most universal in their acceptability, their applicability, translation, and philosophical basis, and they are considered to be the most legitimate. Understanding the universal law of retribution, also known as the law of retaliation or lex talionis, is a concept that holds that the punishment shall be proportionate to the crime and that the individuals are accountable for their actions. It's a key concept in many religions and cultures around the world, and it's also important in international laws. In conclusion, family, we must have a 180-degree correction within ourselves, our family, our community. Hold ourselves accountable, and then you hold others accountable for their actions as well. Understand this. And remember, a people is only going to treat you the way you allow them to treat you. Let that take residency in your cerebral cortex, family. So again, stay vigilant in them streets and practice self-preservation. So I'm going to leave you in the manner in which I came, with a universal prayer. In the name of the universal creator of heaven and earth and everything in between, please continue to bless my listeners, their family, their friends, and the true believers for when the day of reckoning takes place. For universal creator, you are all wise and all knowing, and unto you we all shall return. But until then, we give you the praise and glory that's due to you from this life into the hereafter. In the name of the universal creator of heaven and earth and everything in between, in your name we pray that this shall be done. Also, family, get yourself a copy of the Black Universal Creators 100 Laws, Morals, and Precepts. The paperback's available on Amazon, ebooks on Kindle. And for my subscribers and my supporters, you can go to theblackawaken.com and get your discount on ebooks. Again, like and share, reach one, teach one, peace, and take care.